Welcome, everyone, to Creativity-Hive's weekly show. We help budding videographers and people in all things motion graphics up-level their skills through one-on-one teaching and live group coaching. And today we are not live. We are visiting with, we decided to pre-record the show because 11 a.m. is not a good time for people in Japan. And our guest today is Daniel. so, so Daniel, tell us about yourself. I'm just going to let you do your own intro.
Thank you so much, Miriam, to having me. I'm so happy. I'm very honored to be here. And yeah, maybe a little bit about me. So actually, I'm from Bolivia originally, and over there, I study electronic engineering. So I studied for maybe about 3 years, and in my third year is when I realized that yeah, this is not for me. But anyways, my parents they encouraged me to finish, the university. But in parallel, what I was doing, I think I followed my passion. So it was, videography. It was my uh, my what do you say, like my love about cameras. It was my love about After Effects. So for a couple of years I was doing the university and also these other studies in parallel. And after I finished the university, I also finished this passion that I have. And at the end, I think I was really lucky because after that I was studying different languages. I love so much languages, and because I was studying French, I got the opportunity to have a scholarship. So I went to study in France, and that is when I make like the big shift in my career. So that is when I decided to focus on multimedia. And actually, I was blessed that I finished my university because this actually helped me to have the scholarship. So over there in France, I studied in a university called ESM Multimedia, and this was the first digital university in Paris. And what I really love from the university is that they divide each one of the subjects, by 2 months, 3 months, so you can focus in what exactly you will do. For example, we did visual effects. We did in that case it was very popular at the moment, action script 3. So we focus on that. So little by little we start learning so many skills that actually make us the major was a project manager in multimedia, so it make us really good project managers. So after that, for the university and many other things, I got different contacts, and I end up working in a company called Commando. And this company, they actually do the different events for the King of Saudi Arabia. So it was pretty nice. Yeah, you can see like all the different things, and the logistics, and sometimes where you have infinite budget and you can, I don't know, fly millions of drones in the stadium
Oh
there,
my
kind of
gosh.
crazy. So yeah, it was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive, and at the same time, that moment. Well, I actually uh, I met my wife in a trip in when I went to Egypt. She's Egyptian in 2006, but since I was in France more or less, that was like 2012. So I decided to move to Egypt. So I was living there. I got married there, and then after some years, because of the revolution in Egypt, we decided just to move, and we went to Bolivia. So back in Bolivia, there was like an American company with some offices in Bolivia called Mojix, and I think this company also gave me a lot of good experiences because this was a company more focused on RFID, and at the moment probably it wasn't so popular, when you talk about blockchain and how actually all these things work. But this company was empowering that, and being in this abstract side, uh, probably we were some of the pioneers, doing all those things. So actually what Mojix does is like Uber but for, let's say, different things. So if you're in a retail store, it will track, like, let's say, all the clothes. If you are like in a supermarket, it will track like all the different items inside the supermarket. So they give me the chance, to create the system, to design from zero. It was really tough. I was
Wow.
scared, to be honest, but I think I appreciate that opportunity because uh, create like a system like that from scratch, be the first designer in that, and later on, of course, we have like a big team of 14 designers. But it was scary, but it gave me a lot of things, and many learnings. And after that, so I was traveling very often to San Francisco, to the WWDC to have some workshops, meet some people. And I was big fan of this guy, Meng To. And this is like very amazing designer. And in one of his workshops, the first thing I did, I just hacked him because all the things that I learned from him was really amazing, and it helped me a lot. And then we start talking, and probably I think we have this connection, very instant connection. So we talk about some ideas, give some ideas also how to improve some of the courses. I think he liked it. And after 2 years, from the first encounter that we have, so we keep in touch. We talk again, and he told me like, hey, why did you don't join my company? And I was like, okay, because it was he just started a company. I think he had a runaway for 6 months, and he told me, he was super honest. I don't know if this will work. Probably the next 6 months we will see. And even I have to lower
And
my
you knew
salary.
you clicked. You knew you
Yeah,
clicked. So that's a
exactly.
good, you know.
So I was afraid, but also I think for me it was a big opportunity to work with him, to learn more from him. So I said, okay, what the hell, And that moment at Mojix, I was very comfortable. I was in a director position. So who the hell will actually resign for that? But I said, okay, I think this is a good opportunity. So then I started working, with design code, and I think I learned so many things from him. After that, when I worked in some other companies, I realized how visionary he was. And we did so many things from scratch. We had so many ideas, and in some way, I appreciate all these years, and I think I had the chance to work with someone like, well, let not say like Picasso, but I feel like the talent that he has designing, and also like in marketing, is very interesting. So I had this chance to see how the sausage was made, and which are his ideas. So also that I think it helped me for my new roles after that. So then I was working as a freelance, and I think that period was also really interesting. So I was working as a freelance for many years before, but after that, I think after design code, I think uh, I empower these skills being as a freelance. So the good thing is like there is a lot of people that they trust me, and I really thank them. And you know for example, there is a company called One Signal. These guys, they were super nice with me, and they give me the chance to help them with their videos. Then also, big shout out to Tailwind. They also give me the chance to do the promo videos over there. So yeah, and there is also some small projects, specific projects that, for example, I did for Xbox, I did for Facebook and Oculus Facebook. And actually, I think having this time being a freelance give me, open many opportunities, give me the chance to know more people, and actually touch different projects. And yeah, it was really cool. And the last thing, so because when I was in design code, I met Natu. So Natu is the CTO of LottieFiles. So we didn't actually met in person yet, but we start talking because sometimes I ask like probably dumb questions to him about how can I implement this in Lottie, because we're big evangelists about Lottie. And then I remember that day. Yeah, I think it was after. So I was practicing tennis here in Japan already, and after the tennis practice, I remember I was about to take a shower, and I see like there was like a notification in Clubhouse just to listen, people talking, and I see him like he entered there. I thought, oh, cool, I will listen to him, and then I was listening, and I was getting ready to get the shower, and that moment he invited me to the stage, and I was like, no, no, cancel, cancel, and then he invited me. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just go to the stage and talk, and, and then actually it was why I'm saying this, because in let's say in that connection, it was when he and I, we feel like why we don't work together. And after that talk, we get in touch, and he invited me like, hey man, you should come to Lottie. And I think with all the things that I was working before in design code, and since I'm like a natural Lottie lover, so I said yes, I think probably will be the perfect match. And yeah, actually that's how I end up in Lottie. And yeah, right now I'm here, and also I'm very grateful to Naru. And yeah, that's the whole story.
Cool. Yes. Oh my gosh, you've been all over. Well, I'm going to bring Mo and Neil on, and
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Hey, hi Neil.
Good, good. So I'm seeing this thing on the top edge of your screen going backwards and forwards. Lottie files, Lottie. Interesting question to ask you is how are you doing this?
Sure. So what I'm using, I'm using Ecamm. So it's you can use a, so the idea is to use a virtual camera, and if let me actually show you here.
okay.
So uh, we can do super quick something here. Can you see my screen?
So far,
Okay.
Yes, but
yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, there you go. So let me show you a little bit here how you can do it. And so yeah, the idea is to use like a virtual camera, and you have different options on the market. And Ecamm for me, I think I like it because of their UI, but also you have OBS. OBS is really good. Is probably very powerful as Ecamm, but I just
Yeah.
like better the UI because it's more focused on Mac. So right now what we are using is a Lottie. So let me just bring this other thing here. So the thing is, you can add on Ecamm or on OBS any URL, and you can add like any kind of, let's say, like image, video, whatever you want. So it's very easy. For example, if we come here and we go to LottieFiles, and you would like to add like any kind of logo, or even if you want, we can start everything from scratch. So we can create our own Lottie very, very quick. So let me just put this here, and I will bring this other out. So, for example, let's say, here they have some really good SVGs. So, yeah, first, to create a lottie is very simple. You have two different ways. Well, you have different ways, but probably the most popular are one, using After Effects. And then we have some other tool called SVG to Lottie. So with SVG to Lottie, I think is the fastest way. You just drag and drop an SVG, and this will create like an animation. So over here, we have some different SVGs. And, for example, I can take this one. I'm using this app called Joink that it helps me out actually to hold, some of the files. So I put the SVG over here, and then I come SVG to Lottie, and I drag it. And actually, this will offer me different kind of animation. So I really like this one with the trim pad. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. So that's it. I mean, you create your animation in 1 second. Also, you have some different, versions of it if you want to use this kind of, animations, but it's up to you. Okay. So in this case, the next thing, I have two different options, to upload it or to download it as a JSON. So if I hit upload, this will upload to my library. And I think that that's the best option. So once we'll have this, over here, what I will do is like, if I really like it, I say like, okay, this is cool, but what if I would like to change the color? So I will click on edit animation, and we have this other app called Lottie Editor. So over here is where you are able to change, some of the colors. So right now we are using black, but probably, I don't know, maybe we can select the purple one. We hit update, and there you go. Yeah, it's not totally perfect because we just drag and drop it, but probably if we have like some tool like Figma or Adobe XD, it would change the whole outline. But let's say I really like this one. So the next thing I will do is I will upload it again to my Lottie library. So I will upload it to preview, and there you go. So yeah, this is what you need. So now over here I would just enter here, and okay. So yeah, let's say like you have this animation already, and not only this, but let me show you something else. Uh, right now, these are my private animations, but let's say like, okay, you don't know to create a lottie, you don't want to do it, or you don't have time for that, or you're looking some specific thing. So in this case, for example, we can look about music. And Lottie actually has, the biggest library in the world about all these kind of animations. So in this case, or maybe coins, some people they use coins also for Twitch. Let's say coins. Oh, for example, you would like to have this effect, and you can actually program this also with Ecamm. And let's say like every time that somebody does something, we have these coins animation. So for example, we'll select this one, and over here, you can notice something. So if you come to iframe, it will give you this link, the embed code. So you just can copy this one, and then over here. So if you come here, you will notice that I'm using from HTTP until the number. So I still can add anything else. So click on the word icon, and over here, you need to delete what it says iframe. So from HTTP until this one, and then you can put like some main coins and add the widget, and then you will see like, okay, it's like small error. Yeah, maybe we can try some other one, maybe this one. Okay, from scratch over here. Yeah, sometimes it's an error from the server. I have no idea why is that. Probably the server over here is not working well. But yeah, I mean, let me let's try one more time. Let's see if it works or not. Normally this happens, when
Crossing
you
my
have
fingers.
this webinar. Yeah. So, but let me try this out again. There you go. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know why, but this one, let's see. Like, okay, just just to make sure that is not a problem of the server, I will put it here. Ah, okay, okay. Look, it's working. So I think it was just a matter of time. So
Oh,
okay,
okay.
so it's just a matter of time. So let's go back to the original one. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I think it was the server that it was just trying to load the animation. But let's say like we come here, I will just replace this one for this. Um, and then we wait for a few seconds and we will have it. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, that's how you can do it, and you can create like your animation using let's say After Effects of your own company and just put it there, And I think it's kind of pretty cool, when you're
Very
having
cool.
like kind of video conference, whatever. But yeah, that's the way you can do it. And if you
That's
don't need it
awesome.
and you want to hide it, so just click here, and that's it.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic. That's awesome.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Lottie, what exactly is it? You know, a lot of
So
people wonder what it is, and
yeah, so actually, yeah, let's say like the definition of Lottie, it changed through the time. It keeps
okay.
some things, but it changed through the time. But I would say like two things. So Lottie is like the format, this format that you see, like let's say like a new motion format that you can use it everywhere,
Okay.
like JPEG or PNG. So that's a Lottie. But originally, Lottie, it's a framework also that it was created
Hmm.
from Airbnb. So what happened? So what was the idea? You know, a long time, not so long time ago, but probably 10 years ago, people actually, I mean, designers were actually struggling, and also developers uh,
Hmm.
adding motion to different websites or applications. It was crazy. So I would say that also it was a luxury. So like just big companies that they have like lots of resources, they were able to I don't know, to take two designers or two developers and just to focus to create this kind of animations.
Hmm.
So then the big gap, I think it was for the designer, that he has so many ideas. They have so many ideas, but they couldn't put it there. you know Either because they don't have the experience, either because probably they create animation but the developer don't have the time to do it, and it was very, very complicated. So in
Hmm.
After Effects, actually, with a plugin, the original plugin called Body Moving, that is made from Hernan, very good friend from us. So he actually managed to export any type of, not any type of animation, but most of the let's say like basic functions of After Effects, animated into JSON
Hmm.
file. So that was
Okay.
the first thing. So with body moving, you just export it to JSON, and that's it, nothing else. But then the Airbnb design team, they came with the idea, and they say like, okay, we have this format in JSON. It's an animation. What if we figure out a way like we can use this and put it like in iOS, Android, or the web? And
Hmm.
that's when they create Lottie. So Lottie is just a framework, just a bunch of code that you put it in your application, and this
Hmm.
actually enables to host the JSON file that you create, using the body moving plugin. So that is the story. But
Okay.
people start understanding Lottie more like a format. The real
Okay.
format is JSON, but also they start forgetting about the framework that is named Lottie. So that is the main reason. But for example, for developers, I think when they think about Lottie, they think more like, I will add this code to my different frameworks. And for designers, it's more like, okay, I will export it as a Lottie, which is actually JSON file. So right now,
Hmm.
Lottie is two things. The framework that will help you to add the JSON file into iOS, Android, desktop, and more, and also the format Lottie. And because of that, also in LottieFiles, we create the format. We actually create a format instead of JSON, .lottie, that
Yeah.
is a little bit more tiny, but it will have more capabilities also in the future. So that is what is Lottie. And with Lottie files, so again, Lottie files also, it changed so many things about it, the main concept of what it is. So Lottie files, originally, it's like a library of Lotties. So that is
Okay.
what it is.
Yeah.
So before, people, let's say like, okay, I create the Lottie in After Effects, I export it in JSON, I upload it to iOS, but then I see like, oh, it's messed up, it's not working, the colors, why this is happening. So
Hmm.
they weren't actually an easy way, to check your Lottie and see if it's working or not. So what Lottie Files actually did, they create like this platform where you can drag and drop your Lottie and you can test it and you can see. And also they create a URL where you can share
Yeah.
with the stakeholders, whoever. So that was the important thing. But then they realized like, okay, we are doing this for everyone. Why not create like a library of lorries? And that will be super helpful. And plus, this library will
Right.
be for, so that's when they create this. And I would say like this is the first definition of LottieFiles. The second definition came after they realized that a lot of people is using this. And then the
Hmm.
next step was like, why we don't create tools that will help people to create more lotteries? So that's when the company start creating like different plugins for different applications. So we have for After Effects, we have for Animate, we have for XD. I mean, and some other companies also they were creating native stuff. So for example, we have Protopie, we have Vectory, that they a Webflow that they enable their platform to accept lotteries. So there is
Right.
like this communication between different tools, and a lottie file is actually like the hub. So if you upload anything to LottieFiles from your account, you can take this animation and put and use it in all the different tools. So I
Hmm.
think the power of LottieFiles it was to have this platform to upload it on the web and have this URL. So the URL is the power, I think, that helps a lot of the
Right.
designers and stakeholders to use it.
And it's fully integrated into the current version of After Effects from what I've seen, right?
Yeah, yeah. I really hope that it will be like natively. But the one thing that we really appreciate from Adobe is that they integrated natively in Adobe XD. That was crazy.
Yes.
That was crazy, because and now Lottie is like a real format, like JPEG or PNG. So now you
Hmm.
can say like, hey, I will take this Lottie and I will put it in my designs, and it actually works. You can see like the motion over there. So that is pretty bold, but also amazing. I think many designers they appreciate it.
Fantastic. And you mentioned something a little bit earlier about 3D that was very interesting.
Ah,
Um,
sure.
yes. Would you like to tell us a little bit more because I'm so excited to see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So okay, let me just get ready these small things. Okay, there you go. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so let me introduce you to Vectory. So Vectory actually is a 3D tool that is, like the platform is everything on the web. So this is powerful. Why? Because you can actually create many things, independently about your GPU or CPU. So right now, for 3D artists, something that besides the will to learn, 3D, you also need to have
Mm,
like a very powerful machine.
Hmm.
And yeah, this is something that is a lot of money, and probably it is not like very very handy for many designers. But with Vectory, it has so many things that you can create this kind of stuff over here, and you can use it for any of your projects, and it's very very simple to create it. So you can start for any design tool. In this case, I will use Figma, and I'll create something really really quick. And as you can see, for example, yeah, let's say like I'm creating an NFT app, and I just finished to work on that, and then I realized that I need some marketing stuff. So I say like, okay, why not just bring this to 3D? So before probably there wasn't this option. Before probably you will stop here, create some mockup in perspective, and that's it. But actually, you can bring all these things to Vectory. So something that I found that was super crazy is that they also add an integration for Figma. So for that, I would just come over here, and we can start, anything from scratch. So let me put here back to the dashboard. So you will see like how easy it is to do it. We will create like a smaller version of this, because this literally would take us like 30 minutes. But let me show you like the fastest version. And this is something that you can do it like in 5 minutes. So there is no need to go beyond. But over here, something also, I think, these are the new kind of tools, everything based on the web. So
Mhm.
Figma is one of those tools. And the crazy thing in Figma is, for example, if you come here, you right click and you have this option, copy link. So this actually gives you the option to copy this specific artboard that we have over here. So, going back to Vectory, it's asking me, hey, you want to continue with the new Vectory Studio? You say yes. So they have like the old version of it, but the beta studio is the best one. So we will start everything from scratch. So over here, as you see, yeah, we have the plane, and
Mhm.
also let's say like the interaction with this is a little bit more simple for designers, because you just drag the mouse and that's it. You can go,
Okay,
to
cool.
all the different axes, and then from here you can also create like different spheres, whatever, different shapes. But in our case, what we'll do, we can do this. We can create a plane, and over here, something also that I think they took a really good approach. Probably thinking of the users of Figma is that you can do these kind of things. So in Figma, actually, you can drag one of the corners, and you can modify,
Oh,
the
okay,
radius
cool.
of the corner. So I think the approach that Vector is doing is more based on Figma users, or probably pro designers where they want to move here. So these are tools that is very simple, but it's less overwhelming for a person who doesn't have any kind of experience in 3D. So let's say, okay, we will just put this over here. We just can increase, the size, the height, okay, whatever. And here's the key. So once you come to material, you come over here. So just let me double click here in color. And over here is where you choose, what exactly you want to add. So you can select like a Figma frame, let's say this, and over here, you can paste the link that we just copy,
Hmm.
and yeah, just take a little bit. So actually, what is doing, is grabbing,
Ah,
yeah,
cool.
is grabbing what we had over here, but here. And yeah, that's simple. I mean, you just copy and paste. But also, let me see if this works again. We just copy the link. I'm just recopying just to make sure. And then, I also can paste it here, and I just did, copy and paste. And as you can see, we have also. So
Right.
like, there are two different ways. The first one probably is just to use like a plane, and put it there in case you
Hmm.
already know the size and the shape, and you wanted a specific shape. But in this other case, since we prefer like a transparent shape, so in this case we just grab the link and copy here, and that's it. I mean, just a few seconds, and you didn't have to do it like a big thing. So okay, you're happy with this one, let's say, and then you just can play a little bit over here, and again, this is very very easy actually to manage. You also can resize it a little bit. You can put this over here, and we can create something cool like this. And it's still, what also I love from Vectory, that it still takes some of the, let's say, like shortcuts from other tools like Cinema 4D, for example. So if you know a little bit of Figma or Cinema 4D, yeah, you will actually grab this Vectory very 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 easy. So let's say like, okay, we are happy with this one and we want this one, and then we can create like, let's say, like a backdrop, for example, for this. And also here, I will just zoom out a little bit. As you can see, it's simple, create like a backdrop. We don't have to do so many things for this. And then we can change the color very very easily. So how, we just select the backdrop, and over here, we just come to color, and let's say like we can select like this purple. So that, there you go. You don't have to actually uh, fight with the render or anything. It's just
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's just so easy to do it. So, so there you go. Maybe something like this. Okay, cool. So the next thing, what you can also do is you can use some other like resources. So right now, yeah, it's cool, but maybe we can do something else. So for that, we can use. So actually, LottieFiles, they own a company, and I think it was a very smart purchase what they did. The name of the company is Icon Scout. So Icon Scout is, like the biggest library of icons. So just let me bring that here. Just a second. So there you go. So in Icon
Okay.
Scout, we have so different like tools and different assets that we can use for our designs. So something that I like, is the 3D. So in the 3D illustrations, for example, we can look for abstract. Let's say something like this. And as you can see, we have like so different ways, or different things that we can add. And
Mhm.
for example, we can say like, okay, let's add the spheres. Yeah. So you hit download, and you have different options. So in this case, I will use the OBJ because this is actually compatible with Vectary. So I will download this one, and yeah, once you have that one, so yeah, it's still downloading here a little bit. But once you will have that one, yeah, it's as simple as just drag and drop. So for example, I will take this over here. So the only thing I will do is to drag and drop this, boom,
Mhm.
and it's telling you like it has some warning, like hey, it has so many polygons, and you say, "Ah, let's do it, continue anyway. Don't worry about it. It's just telling you just in case." So once you hit continue anyway, it will ask you another question, which is I think is very smart what they did. It's asking you if you want to keep the original version, I mean the size, or if you want to fit to the object, to this object that we
Okay.
created. So in this case, it's better to click fit to the object. So it will try to resize it and make it, in the same scale as what you already created. If you select keep original, probably the original file will be too big or it will be too small. So it will cause some trouble, over there. I mean, not a big trouble, but you will need to look for the assets. So in this case, there you go. You have the sphere, and over here you just can place it, and even you can select, individually each one of the spheres. So if you want to do something else, like for example, I want this to go a little bit more. Sorry, maybe this one a little more here. This other one probably a little bit more here. This other one, no, maybe around here, and also play with the other axis, maybe a little bit more back, and
Mhm.
this also, maybe to the front, and this also over here. So yeah, and you have this kind of, um, let's say like imaginary, and then you can select the spheres. And also a very quick thing that I love is like you want to add some colors, so you just can select. Let me try again. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's not working, but let's say like you can select some a very similar purple, let's say. We
Right.
just copy the hexadecimal color, and yeah, I mean, you can do the same thing for each one of the spheres. So yeah, you can create all those kind of things, and then let's say like after you are happy with the results. Yeah, there's some bug with the, with the color drop, but after you're happy with the results, what you can do, you have different options, to use this. So the first option will be like, hey, I want to use this for marketing purposes. So the only thing I do is to sort of take a screenshot, so you can download it as an image. And even if you want to go a little bit further, so for example, you can add some light. So which is the last thing, we can add this light over here. uh, so let me just go here, select this. Okay, so we have the light just right here, and you will see that this changed everything. So just let me let me just re-add it because I don't know where the light is. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's a small one.
Cool.
So yeah, okay. You say like, okay, you have this light, and maybe you can play this a little bit more, so you can have the reflect. So something like this, and as you can see, you can see the reflex of the light over here.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, this is pretty cool, and then probably we can put it a little bit to the back right here. And it also has like some different tools, from the major 3D, tools, like for example, camera.
Hmm.
So you can also insert like camera, and as you can see, our camera is over there. So we can play also with the camera. Let's say, I want probably this view, something like this. Approach it a little bit more, and over here you can enter to the camera view and see how
Okay.
actually it looks like. And you can also edit this. You can take this. And okay, so for the
Mm-hmm.
exporting part, so once you are happy with all this, you said, okay, I want this for marketing purposes. So you click here to download, and this will actually take like, a screenshot. So we can put like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it would take like a sort of screenshot for what you are actually working. And then if you come back to Figma, just drag and drop this one, and there you go. You can put it there. And even
Okay.
let's say like if you want to use this for your design, let's say like you already create a website. So let's say I would just delete this one. So you already have like the assets, you have the text and everything. The only thing
Hmm.
is just place it there. You resize it a little bit, maybe something like this. I will put it to the back, and yeah, you have this. So yeah, there are many uses, and if you are even crazy to take this, and probably you can add it to your website. So the next thing will be like sharing. So you come here,
Right.
and if you want to share, you want to able to share with some other fellows, so you can enable this one to share, to clone it. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working here, but you can say like, okay, share to the web. Okay, I think now it will work. This okay, and people can clone this. Okay, now it's working. And then you can click this one, the copy to the embed code. So you can copy this, and the only thing you need to do is just to paste it in your website. So for example, I was playing with that a little bit. So I put it, this example on my website, not this specifically, but some similar example. So this will be like the final result that you have. Uh, just a second here. But the nice thing is that you can still have this interaction that we have over here about moving, into the different axes. So you still can have this in your website. So once this will load, you will see like a similar version of this, but with actually the, let's say like the possibility to go through the different axes. So as you can see, we have this over here.
Awesome. Well, this
Yeah,
has been fun.
yeah. It's kind of crazy. And just the last thing I will show you is like, for example, over here, we will create the plane. And yeah, actually this is the main reason that why vector is super cool. That let me put this over here. So let's say like, you want to add an animation, and for that, this is also super super simple. So just can, and we'll just put this over here. There you go. Okay.
Mm.
So let's say like you want to add animation over here, and let's pretend that I already create like an animation. So let's go to LottieFiles, and let's look for, I don't know, music. I'm obsessed with music. So over here, let's say like we can select this one, and the thing that you need is probably the URL, this one. So we copy this, or maybe this one. Let me try it out. So we come here, and again you select color. So actually what you're changing is the texture, and you select animation. So over here
Okay.
is telling you, change the animation, paste the link over here. So you paste the link, and there you go. You have this, and yeah, fix this one. And once we hit like a render, so we can
Yeah.
click preview, so you can see here.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
very
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 cool.
simple to do that.
Very,
So
very
yeah,
cool.
I think these are the power of when you're mixing all these different tools coming from Figma, After Effects, 3D, Icon Scout, or whatever. But yeah, this is actually how you can do it.
Amazing tools. Well, thank you.
Nah, for sure. Thanks.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a lot easier than typically working in After Effects.
Yeah, exactly. Let me find you guys, because I think I lost you in the Chrome, but yeah, I will stop sharing my screen here. Okay, I
Oh,
found
okay.
you. Okay, there you
All
go.
right.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing all this with us. Any last
For
parting shots? Anything you want people to know, or place that you want them to connect to you with, or
Yeah, sure. They can follow me in Twitter. So I'm very active in Twitter over there. So my handle is Dini, Nisttahuz, like my last name, but D at the beginning. So
okay.
that will be. I think that will be the best way. And also they can, if they want to chat more, probably fast with me. They can go to my site, which is like, Daniel without the A, .io also.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, or just a big shout out in Twitter. I normally reply really fast, so yeah, don't worry about it.
So
I
that
am.
that's great. Love. It's been really, really awesome. I mean, big, big potential I see for LottieFiles. Probably take over the industry when it comes to this sort
Thank
of
you, man.
stuff. It's really nice for motion graphics designers. I'm sure it will mature to the point where there's a little bit of visual effects coming in and support for some, like we spoke about the last time, third-party plugins perhaps as it gets along, and that'll make it quite a big game changer because if you look at After Effects and creating some cool animations with glows or light rays or whatever it is that you want, even without third-party plugins. Logic, the way you showed the workflow now, is actually pretty cool. Not a lot of people know about these different pieces of software that it has to work between, but most people understand what After Effects is, what XD is. Is there any hope for this getting into Cinema 4D files?
I would say, I mean, the sky is the limit. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Mm-hmm.
we have so many things, working in house, and we have so many talented people that, yeah, it scares me. I see like everything that they are doing is like, oh my god, how is this possible? And yeah,
Right.
I won't be surprised. I To be honest, we are focused also, probably not so much on 3D tools. We are focused, yes, but just a little. We're starting with Blender, because I
Oh,
think this is more,
okay.
yeah, this is more accessible, for especially designers that they are trying to come to the industry. But
Yes.
me personally, I'm like probably very very not fan number one of Cinema 4D. So yeah, I push hard so for that also, especially for the tools that I love so much. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be excited if I can see that on Cinema 4D, because the things you can do with Cinema 4D is it's crazy. It's
it's
crazy.
something
And
else. So
yeah,
so you're hoping to get it into release 26, maybe 27 as something integrated, or a plugin rather, or an extension, something like that.
yeah, I think a plugin will be more appropriate,
Yeah,
because also we have experience doing that, and the possibility to. So why especially a plugin? Because uh, I think the power of the platform is that you can access to your private lotties. So
yeah,
this is like the power of what we are trying to do, and a plugin will actually enable that. That imagine that you're working in your Cinema 4D and you open like a window and you select the past animations that you create and you just drag and drop over there. So I think that will be super powerful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's time for us to sign off now. And even though we're not live, people go ahead and comment, and we will be sharing information in the comments. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate
You're welcome. It's been fun.
thanks, Daniel.
it.
Talk to you soon. I will be in touch with you, chat about some stuff.
Yeah, for